I would recommend AdMob and do recommend AdMob to people when, especially clients, when asking about where they can take money to begin to understand how mobile advertising can work in service of their campaigns and their business. And I find that AdMob is kind of uniquely suited in their ability to help clients understand the opportunity, measure it successfully, and then deliver on what they say they're going to do. My position on mobile today is that it's no longer a when or an if or a test and learn opportunity. We're seeing consumers increasingly demanding access to mobile information from brands. In the next 5 years, mobile will unseat almost all other digital channels in the lives of the consumer as the primary control point by which they kind of operate their digital footprint. I think in the past in the past 10 years that's been the PC. Prior to that it was probably the television. And I think in going forward it's going to be the mobile device as they get more sophisticated and more functionality gets crammed into them. There's an expectation in the consumer that mobile is going to solve problems for them. And so when people find that the device doesn't do the things that they expect it to, they get disappointed. So mobile is very different in that way, that I think people are beating their fist for, when am I going to be able to scan a code in the store? When am I going to be able to have a great browsing experience no matter where I go? Not just that I know what sites work on the phone and don't, that every site works on the phone, that I can get access to the stuff I need when I need it, that it's not going to break the bank every time I engage with one of those ads or one of those applications. I think that there's a big misconception, there's almost a prejudice among Fortune 500 companies in the US that mobile, in terms of marketing, advertising, and creating digital experiences for consumer, is not there yet, it's not mature. I could argue that it is the most mature channel that exists. It has more reach than television and print media combined. The usage of content, the consumption of content, is clearly outlined in terms of what people like to see on the phone, how often they access it. It's the most measurable digital channel that's ever existed. And so for a brand marketer to look at mobile and say that it's not mature and ready yet, what they're really saying is, I don't understand how to use it, right? I'll go in to do client presentations on mobile and hear the objection, well, only teenagers do that, or only people with iPhones look at mobile web pages. And as soon as the meeting's over, everyone in that room pulls out their mobile device and starts sending text messages to their kids and looking up the weather because they're going to the baseball game that night, right? So there's some type of psychological disconnect when you enter into that work mentality of, oh, mobile, that seems weird and scary. But when you walk out the door at 5, mobile is the center point of your entire interaction with your family and your friends and everything else. I think the big advantage that mobile has, and the reason that consumers are liking it better than other forms of media, is the personalization. I talk a lot about the mobile experience for consumers being kind of an intimate one. You don't share your phone with your friends. You don't invite your friends over to your house to watch the game on your phone. It's yours, and it's your experience, and you customize it around your life and the way that you want it to work for you. And I think that when ad networks and brands become sensitive to the idea that when you, the consumer, encounter those brands on your device, it's really a privilege for the brand that you've been invited into that person's world, into their pocket, and that if you can see your activities that way and appreciate the level of trust that's being extended, it shifts a little bit the approach that you take to it. And I think if we're sensitive to that relationship with the consumer, it can be incredibly powerful.